I say between look down dirty, man, like his brother, steaming. Don't need the girl around me to play it for real. Act up that deep.
Hey. That's my anthem right there, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's the anthem. That's your anthem?
Yes, most definitely. That's my anthem. That's my happy music.
You wanna know what my anthem is?
What? It's probably some bullshit. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, you really don't know what my anthem is.
Baby Shark.
Baby.
You know Bella be off the Baby Shark, so I know it's on that.
We don't even watch Baby Shark, bro. She watch regular TV.
Bubble Guppies. Niggas don't watch Bubble Guppies?
No. We watch, what's it, Motown Music? Motown, what is it called?
Never heard of it.
On Netflix? Yeah. But no, go watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real.
Good black.
I gotta tap in.
Black on.
Not black on television.
I don't know if it's black on, but it's all
black characters.
It's all black characters.
Okay. I'm gonna tap in. Welcome back, my baby.
But I never got to say though.
Oh yeah, go ahead. My bad.
It's Tupac. I got it wrong.
Hey, but you know what's crazy? You know my daddy has a radio show, right? That's his intro song. Like an instrumental.
I still clown. Still clown when the underground.
Yeah.
When we come around.
Fucking love that.
Let me stop. Go ahead. Do what you
Welcome back, my baby.
Welcome back.
Episode 3. Can we get the clap music thing?
We back.
We gotta get one of them. We gotta invest.
Man, we gotta invest. It's okay. We're on our way up to the top.
Most definitely. Episode 3, man. Episode 2 was last week. What we talked about last week, my brother?
Man, I can't even remember. Oh no, I do. We
Talk about
purpose,
purpose.
applying pressure, and to get into that bag. That's what we talking
Most
about.
definitely that tunnel vision for you, because your chapter in your life would be tunnel vision.
All right.
For me, it'd be trial and error. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So we on to something.
Good summary.
Great.
Oh,
You
yeah.
feel me? What we drinking this week?
You like a thing or two in school. I like that.
Hey man, that $60,000 education better than that, so.
Right. But this week we got the Stella Rosa.
Stella Peach.
Stella Peach.
What you rate that, my baby?
It's dangerous, bro. I'm gonna have to go probably a 9.
9. Good 9.
Nah,
I
just
give
want
it an 8.5.
a little stronger.
A little stronger, a little more percentage. But that was straight.
It's straight though.
If you just want something to sip like Dolo,
That's it.
that's it right there.
You do the whole bottle by yourself.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
You most definitely do.
Yeah. But this week, how you been this week though?
Good, man. I can't complain, bro. I started classes this week.
How was that?
For the master's program, sports management. Good, man. I knocked all my junk out the way. You know me, I ain't no procrastinator, bro. I like to get my stuff out the way so I can have my time. You feel me? So
like that.
Started classes, man. Just been chilling, bro. Been in my own space. You know, how you been this week?
I've been good, man. It's still a grind.
It's always a grind.
Always a
That's
grind.
never gonna
It's
stop.
a
But they say
grind.
the grind don't stop.
The grind does not stop. It was straight, man. You know, getting stuff done. Here and there, everywhere. Let's see. Just getting ready for this week. You know, the students supposed to come back to school on Tuesday, so I'm staying right up.
Oh yeah.
And
Wear your
prayed up.
mask and your gloves. 6 feet, social distance.
I love hand sanitizer and all.
Look, we bumping elbows and
Yeah,
forearms.
all type of stuff.
I'm already knowing.
Hey, shit, but that's good. But mentally, you straight to it?
My man, yeah, I'm gonna be alright, brother. You know how that go.
You gonna make it. Just gotta check in. It's always good. Let's check in with the audience. You know, we just want to make sure y'all
Right,
straight.
y'all let us know how y'all doing.
Yes.
You feel me, on a weekly basis, you know.
Yes.
You
Yes.
feel me?
Facts.
Don't worry about tomorrow's battles when you fighting today.
Right.
Right.
Right. We still got time in the day.
What's on the agenda today, my
What's
baby?
on the agenda today is I really can't. I ain't even gotta look down there, but it's because it's gonna be a good one. It's really being you.
Right.
You feel me?
Understanding
be yourself.
who you are.
Understanding who you are. Be yourself. Don't let nobody create your self-portrait of yourself. That's what we
Control your own narrative.
Control your own narrative.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what we
sir.
talking about today. We talking about how to be yourself, understanding yourself, learning yourself, and allowing yourself to control your own narrative, like we just said, and to, you know, bypass the perceptions and the expectations that people put upon you.
For real.
That's not really
I mean,
of you.
yeah, because we
stereotypes, all that.
we in a time now where social media has a big influence on people trying to find
Absolutely,
out
bro.
their identity, find out who they are, find their identity.
Mm-hmm.
And we got people doing it for the gram, doing it for the likes. They still getting lost in the sauce.
Always.
Always. I mean, I feel like this real pivotal, this topic. You know, just you know, find who you are, man. Just be that person.
So, to start us off, bro, how would you describe yourself as a person? How would you describe BJ Smith as a person? You feel me? if I was to, you feel me, go to somebody or somebody was to come to me and be like, all right, you feel me, who is BJ? What type of person is BJ? What would you want me to tell them? I know what I would say, just because like you my mans and everything, but like, who are you as an individual?
As an individual, bro, I'm a laid back. Do I say that? Chill. That goes into being nonchalant.
I'm nonchalant too, bro. I'm real low key.
Nonchalant.
I try to be real low key.
Real low key. You feel me? Something. We try to be real low key, high key. That makes
high
sense.
key, low key.
High key, low key.
Yeah, fact.
But laid back, nonchalant, chill. Outgoing, but at the same time, you know, like that introvert. Extrovert, introvert.
You
know
an
that
ambivert.
Yeah.
Ambivert. I learned that. Somebody taught me that word.
That happy medium, that ambivert.
It's like you an introvert with extrovert. No, you an extrovert with introvert qualities.
Yes, bro.
An ambivert. I just put y'all on.
Yeah, you know how we are. You know how we are. You feel me?
You know what I'm
So
saying?
times when we be, you feel me? We out there like the party. There times when we want to be conservative and be by ourselves, bro. So,
as far as characteristics, bro, like you feel me? What's some things that you hold value to yourself? What's some things that you value? Like,
oh, for me,
yeah.
This goes
like,
into
who are you, bro?
This goes to, for me. People say authentic. Authentic. I'm gonna keep it $150 with you no matter what.
That's facts.
All the time. If you hang around with me, I'm gonna keep it $150 with you. Authentic. Let's see, you hit me with your question right at the top. Just making me think. Let's see. A hard worker, driven, ambitious. Let's see. Right now, that's really all I can think about.
I feel it.
What about you, though? Describe yourself as a person.
So I would agree with you, bro. You feel me? That's why we click so well, because we similar. You know, I'm a low key, laid back, nonchalant, kind of cool individual. You know, I keep my business to myself, and I like having, you feel me, my business to myself.
Right.
I'm a listener, bro, and I'm a motivator.
Facts.
You know, so like anybody that's around me, bro, I'm positive energy, good vibes all the time.
Right.
You feel me? You very seldom catch me like down.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I've kind of been one to wear my emotions on my sleeve, but as of late, I really have like been masking it. You feel me? It's more so on some don't dwell in the situation, because what's dwelling gonna do?
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the mindset that I've adopted a little bit. You
It's
know.
like, yeah.
But that's me, man. I'm real. You know, I'm, like you said, authentic, bro. I'm gonna be me 100% of the time, depending on the environment. You feel me? And we're gonna get into. I'm gonna explain that a little later. We're gonna get into that a little deeper. You feel me? You feel me? So like, what's something that your environment, you feel me, has taught you? Like, whether it be back at the crib, whether it be your current environment, you feel me? Where you staying now, whether it be your work environment, bro. What has your environment taught you as a person?
For real, bro. My environment really makes me me. Let me say that. It makes me me. You know, like my environment, my beliefs, you know, what your beliefs come from a wide variety of things, you feel me, such as your parents, religion plays one, all type of things, bro. So you feel me, my beliefs, like I say, family dynamics is one too, family and my environment, you feel me, because my environment, I feel like my environment though is a real big piece of that, because like that's why I was raised at.
Right. What has it taught you though? What has your environment taught you?
It taught me to depend on myself. You feel me? It taught me a lot to depend on myself, positive things, depend on myself, how to be ambitious. You feel me? Because you know where we come from, especially in the city. You feel me? If you don't want to get it, it ain't gonna come to you. Slow feet don't eat.
Slow feet don't eat.
Like,
Yeah, that's fact. Slow feet don't eat, bro. You gotta hit the pavement.
You feel me? My mom always told me, don't nothing come to you to sleep but a drink. You feel me? So, you know, them are things, but then there's also some negatives. You feel me? Like, you know, having a hard time trusting people. True. There's a lot of shady stuff that going around, around us growing up.
Definitely, bro.
For real, you feel me? But also take like being watchful, being observant.
Yeah, that's one thing I would agree with, bro.
Yeah, that's like,
you feel me?
That's like on both sides.
My environment has taught me how to move.
Right.
You feel me? First and foremost, how to move, and then how to be observant. You know, I'm a very observant person. You know, like if I'm walking into a room and the majority of the room I don't know. You feel me? I'm gonna sit back and be observant. I'm gonna be cordial. I'm gonna be personable. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna speak to people. I'm gonna hold a conversation if it comes to that. But my first instinct when I walk into a room or environment where I'm unfamiliar, I'm watching. I'm observing what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
I feel vibes. Cause like I mean that like being observant keeps you. It puts you hip to a lot of things.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
A lot of unseen.
You can connect a lot of dots by just like shutting your mouth and just paying attention.
Just paying attention, bro.
You know what I mean? Paying attention to your surroundings, bro.
Being observant. You feel me? It helps you miss a lot of things, a lot of obstacles. You feel me? So yeah, I will say observant. I really will say observant. You feel me? Along with that, you know, feeling my environment is combined with different things like growing up in a single parent household, which really made me more of a hard worker. Because, you know, just watching my mama work and then really becoming a man at a young age. Like, I had to learn how to get it. You feel me? Like, I always tell people, you feel me? I'm from Muskegon. We ain't nothing but a city full of hustlers.
I believe it. That's true.
That's
true. Somebody in Muskegon always doing something.
Right.
You feel me? Like, somebody always pushing something, whether it's, you know, you feel me? People making dinners on the weekends.
Something, bro.
People pushing clothes. Jewelry, whatever, accessories, all that. Somebody always got to hustle. You feel me?
Always.
And Forex really did hit the ski kind of heavy too.
Yeah, Forex.
You feel me? Like I guess that's a skill that's a lifelong skill that people learning.
Right.
And that's something personally I'm not interested in, but it's people out there that's really invested in it. You feel me? And it's paying dividends for them. And that's huge.
I ain't that tight in the Forex. Don't get me wrong. I want to get into some type of trading in life. You feel me? But Forex just ain't my thing.
No,
I
feel it.
This right here my thing. Other things up, you know, around this right here is my thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everybody gonna have their own thing. That's all part of being you. You feel me? Just be you. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, you feel me, that ain't you or this and that. If it makes you happy, you feel comfortable doing it, bro, that's you.
Right.
Stick to that.
Facts.
That's all I'm saying.
That's
Stick to that. You feel me? And then another thing, my city also told me, my environment is really the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm appreciative for that.
Explain.
The good.
I know what you mean a little bit, but you're going to have to explain.
Oh, man. The good.
The bad, and the ugly.
The good is really just...
self-explanatory.
Yeah, but okay, so if I had to really put it in words, I'd tell people, like what I spoke on just a minute ago. Coming from the inner city, you feel me, you just got that hustle. You just got that drive. You just got that... There's something in you that somebody else, you feel me, that don't come from the same environment as you don't have.
Right, that's true, but I feel like, you feel me, having that drive and that ambition, being where we from, has a lot to do with who we surround ourselves around.
Facts, that too.
You know?
That too.
Because, like, the people that we hang around, you know, personally, everybody I hang around in the city is solid.
Facts.
You feel me? My group, I'm tied in with some real solid dudes, solid individuals. People I know that got my best interest and got my, you feel me, that's gonna have my back through whatever. And they not out here on no bullshit.
Correct.
Or they not out here just, you know, waking up in the morning, washing their ass, playing 2K, you feel me, not doing nothing.
For real.
Everybody that I associate myself with has some type of grind, has some type of work ethic, has some type of hustle. You know, and for me, it's school right now. School and coaching ball. You feel me? For another one of my homeboys, it may be having 2, 3, 4 jobs, and then a side hustle on the side. You feel me? But we all into something. Y'all
all into something. At the end of the day, everybody go. And I tell everybody this. Like, you feel me? Me and Brody always talk about it. At the end of the day, we all doing something as brothers. You feel me? But you know, the main goal is to make it to the top and get that bag. Right. You feel me? Like we all gonna meet at the top. As long as we all working to get to the top, that's fine by me.
So let me ask you this. Do you think who you hang around, bro, you feel me, and who you associate yourself with has something to do with who you are?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So do you believe in that statement, like, show me your friends and I'm gonna show you your future?
Right.
You believe in that statement?
Yes, because that's just like what we spoke on, like, if you don't try to surround myself with people that are, you feel me, smarter than me and like-minded, you feel me, and vice versa. Like, but you feel me, as long as we all got that same blueprint, you feel me, your friends pushing you for you to do what you want to do, you feel me, and they motivate you, and vice versa, that's what you need. That's what you need, you feel me? Like, y'all always sit here and tell me, like, you feel me, okay, talk to y'all, this where we at, okay, then what's the next step? Like, no matter what it is, no matter if I'm working at the school or doing this, that. Like, this what I want to get to.
Right.
You feel me? Me and bro was just talking last night. Okay, yeah, you got that. Then what's next? Like, where you see yourself going after that? Like,
it's always that's a good thing that we got people in our corner that continue to challenge us.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I say I'm doing this, but my homeboy gonna always be on some. Okay, that's what's up. I'm glad you're in that position. What's next? Like you were saying, or you feel me? How can I invest in you? That's something that me and you have been doing a lot more of. You feel me? Me, you, Mark, and Kamari when he here. Like my boys back at the crib is really on some. How can I invest in you? What do you have going on that I can invest in to help you better off your situation?
Right.
So with my question earlier about agreeing if who you hang around is a product of you a little bit, 100%. I agree. You know, I agree that the people I hang around gotta be like-minded. Right. You know, we gotta have a goal. You feel me? I gotta hang around goal-oriented people. Right. You know, because like, complacency there's no room for complacency in my life, bro. And there's no room for complacency for anybody I hang around. So if you hanging around me and I consider you my brother, or I consider you a good friend, you feel me, or I got love for you, I'd be damned if you sit around and be complacent with what you got going on.
For real, because then I can't really do nothing with you. Like, I mean, I can, but I know, like I said, I know where to put you at now. Like, you feel me? When I'm trying to apply that pressure, you feel me, press the envelope with you, you know, vice versa. If you just sitting there, you feel me, like
help me, help you.
Yeah,
that's a different type of time.
You feel me? Facts. Like, I mean, it's straight. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like you talk, don't get me wrong. If that's what you want to do is play the game all day, you feel me? Do this and that. That's what you want to do. I'm not gonna be mad. That's you.
Right.
You feel me?
But I ain't gonna be around.
I ain't gonna be around that much.
I ain't gonna be around.
I'm not.
So.
But then it also goes in, and I'm gonna bring it around and too, cause that was a good. You feel me? And like I said, it's good that we find the friends, but at the same time, the reason I cherish my friends and my brothers, they need my friend and my brothers, is because it's hard to find them in the environment we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the bad and the ugly together. Cause like, you feel me? I was thinking like, dang, you feel me? Like you literally, it's a jungle. Where we come from, we thrown to the wolves at an early age. Feel me? So you gotta find your way around it. You feel me? You gonna take some, you gonna learn some lessons, you gonna bump your head a couple times, you gonna fall. But you gotta keep pushing forward.
That's facts.
You feel me? So it's like,
that's real.
you just raised by jungle. Like, I come from a single parent household. Some things my mama couldn't teach me that I had to learn on my own. You feel me? No matter, I mean, if I learned it from somewhere else, I had to learn it on my own. Right. You feel me? So it's like, it's a jungle. You just gotta learn how to survive, bro. Like I said, we doing a pretty damn good job at it.
In my notes, you got something here. Let's say something about an undergrad story, bro.
Oh man.
Let's you feel me? Story. Is it story time?
I guess it's story time.
I mean, you feel me? Cause I think we got pretty similar stories, especially when it comes to undergrad. You feel me? Like being in undergrad, being at K. You know what I'm saying? Interacting with some of the same people, being kind of the same person a little bit. We got some similar stories, but like how? Okay. Let me ask you this. How did your environment growing up back in Muskegon, growing up back home, mold you or allow you to grow and flourish or exist in your undergrad environment?
Man.
Cause like you got like Muskegon predominantly where we be at, right? Predominantly black, you feel me? Area. We dealing with all types of black people, you know what I'm saying? From intelligent black people to ignorant black people, from cool black people to snakes, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't really, you feel me? But you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot going on in Muskegon, so we understand like how to move and where we can go and like where we can be, when we can be there type junk, and you know, just being mindful of our environment. And then you get to K, a predominantly white institution, bro, you know, and you got it's 1 in every 37 individuals is black on campus, you know what I'm saying? Like our black population was like 20%, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, bro, you don't got your black people from Muskegon, bro. You feel me? You got your suburban, you know, black people. You got your too hard trying to be black people. You got your cool people that we really kicked it with and we bonded with, you know, on campus. You know what I'm saying? We had so many different varieties of black people in that small quantity of black people, you know what I'm saying? So like, how did your environment from Muskegon, like, you feel me, mold your experiences at K?
Let me say something though, because one thing, this is just on side. One thing that always used to kill me is when my freshman year when I got there, I used to ask me like, hey, where you from?
Right.
And this is no offense to my my white friends out there. It was like, where you from? They're like, I'm from Detroit. You know, I take a quick look. I'm like, like you from Detroit.
Right.
So
what bird outside?
what bird are you from? Like I'm like,
Farmington
come on. I got people. Okay, I'm from Farmington Hills.
I'm from Auburn Hills.
I'm from
Right.
Okay, there we go.
Like, I'm from Michigan. You ain't got a cap to tell me you from Detroit, bro. Tell me where you from.
I know my area a little bit.
Nah, I feel it.
But yeah, but going back to your question though, before I got to K, I ended up going to predominantly white high school, middle school and high school. My mama had me. She wanted to send me to Heights. Stayed in Heights, I was going to see.
Right.
My daddy was like, no, that ain't happening.
Right.
So I had to drive all the way across town, you feel me? Me and bro ended up going to OV, you feel me? That's how we linked for real. But really there, like, it had taught me really how to code. That's when I first learned how to code switch, bro. How to code switch and how to adapt to a different environment.
Right.
While still trying to be myself. You feel me? That was how can I say it? I didn't really feel like it was challenging, but you feel me? It was a little hard there. But then when I got to K, it was really different. That was a culture shock.
Yeah,
like
I said that too, bro. When I got there,
yes,
culture shock.
Cause me and Quincy cause like I tell people like me, you, and Quincy, we all from Muskegon, but it's like different parts. You feel me? And our family dynamics is different. So it's like when me and Quincy left, I kind of had Quincy in a little higher position than I did as far as like doing the socioeconomic status. But then it's like when we got to K, bro, it was like our first 2 weeks, we was like, oh, bro, we in the same boat.
Right.
You feel me? When you pull up to K, you feel me, a white private institution, and you like you said, most of the students come from wealthy families, suburbs. It's a culture shock. You like, bro, you feel me? Ain't nobody in my hood driving a Mercedes Benz at 18.
Right.
Like the brand new, you feel me? Got 4Gs on the truck, on the Jeep truck. Like, and
So
it was different.
So let me ask you this, bro. How did you stay true to yourself? You know what I'm saying? What are some things that you did, or you feel me, that you went through to stay true to yourself? Because it can as easy as it is to like be in that environment, bro. It could have been easy for you to get lost, bro, and like feel like you gotta conform to another person or another personality, another character. You feel me? To exist in that environment, like it can be kind of hard to be authentic in that environment without feeling like you doing too much, or you know, because it'd be times, right? Because it'd be times where, you feel me, we were real loud, be the only black individuals in the class.
Facts, for real. There's been times I've been the only one.
You know, and that happened quite frequently. Yeah. On that campus, bro.
People don't understand, like, you dealing with that while also, like, and for us, we dealing with that while also with football, while also trying to be studious, good students. You feel me? It's tough. You gotta think about that.
And maintain a social life.
So it was like, man, you got all these different areas you're worrying about. You feel me? It's like, damn, how am I keep afloat?
Right.
But one thing I did, bro, and I shout out to, I will say shout out to all like Quincy, Ronnie, man, Granny was one, just always talking to them. You feel me? Then just really tapping back into home. Like, you feel me? Always, no matter what. Like my home, my brothers that I left, you feel me? I met them Muskegon, I left with, and my brothers to this day, like, they were still around. And it was just like, if you couldn't really accept them, or if you couldn't really accept me, then I wasn't gonna be around. You feel me? So I think that's what really made me, is like, I don't know how, I just thank God for it, but it was just like, this is who I am. You feel me? And if you can't accept it, well then, oh well.
Right. So when you was on campus, bro, did you feel like at any point in time that people tried to categorize you, bro, or put you in a certain stereotype?
Yeah, before I got there, I was already a stereotype. Before I got there.
That's crazy.
But I'll kid you not. You can ask Quincy this. You can ask Ox.
Right.
They had compared me and Quincy to two other people on campus already. Me and Quincy were seniors in high school.
Right.
Seniors in high school. I'm not going to say who they compared us to, but they compared us to two individuals.
That's crazy, bro, because before I got there, they compared me to you. when I came on my unofficial visit, bro, to Monte Carlo, bro, and y'all brought me in that function, bro. And I was following you around, bro. You was introducing me to everybody, bro, and like, you feel me? We realized, start moving the same, bro. And then when I got to campus, it's like, oh, you're BJ's little brother. Like, no, I'm Pitt, but yeah, BJ my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like whatever you had, you was a senior too. So like, I was coming as a freshman, you was a senior. So you had did your damage. You feel me? You put your stamp on campus. You know what I'm saying? People know who you are, type junk. And I hop on campus and boom. Here I go, trying to, you feel me, be my own man on campus.
It's hard because
and constantly being like, oh, you BJ little brother.
Yes, because people already portray
you cool with BJ, or wow, you a BJ, real similar. I'm like, yeah, that's my man, but I'm my own man first of all. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. And it's like people already trying to write that narrative about you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Cause I don't know what you had going on, but when I hopped on campus, bro, mother was looking at me like, okay, let me see what he got going on. Like, they was really paying attention to how I was moving, bro. And people really, bro, sat down and asked both of us, bro, why do we move the way we move, or why do we interact with people the way we interact with them,
bro?
And it's like, because that's just who we are as people. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come to you off top as a genuine person, because you've given me no reason to not be genuine to you. Until you giving me that reason to not be genuine and to be real nonchalant or be an asshole, or I'm gonna be real genuine with you.
I think that's one thing that people love about us, that we just real genuine. But that conversation, it happened multiple times with us, multiple times. And so, like I called you a couple months ago, and I told you that conversation came back up.
Yeah.
And we got like undergrad. That's crazy. But to the story that you asked me about, it was my freshman year.
Right.
And a young lady had asked me, why do you interact with people the way you do? With people the way you do.
Who is people, bro? Who is people?
Okay, why you interact with women the way you do?
All right, you can take it.
Why you interact with women the way you do? And I'm like, I really didn't have nothing. I really looked at the text and kind of giggled a little bit. What?
How am I supposed to interact with
her? How am I supposed to interact? So I was like, really, bro, it really like where I come from. Is the reason.
Okay.
That's just really who I am. That's where I come from. It's just like I said, it's things you learn, you feel me, here and there. Teachers ain't always be positive, you feel me? Some they be negative. But I just said, my environment had it, like I said, it was a big influence on how I interact with people the way I do. So this individual told me like I couldn't blame it on my environment. It's like, what?
But you're not blaming anything.
I'm not.
Bro. You was just saying how the way you interact with people is based off of what you learned and how your environment has molded you to do. You know what I'm saying?
I was lost because I was like, damn, ain't not the psych major?
Right.
I feel like I know what I'm talking about.
Right. And you do.
It was just like my environment. And it was just like, what else you want me to tell you? Like, that's why I interact with people the way I do. What you want me to tell you?
I reciprocate energy.
This conversation is serious because you didn't turn halfway.
Right. I reciprocate energy, bro. Okay. So if you coming off to me as a genuine person, I'm gonna be genuine back, right?
That.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If you come off me as hostile, hold on, player.
Come off hostile, bro.
I'm gonna check you and stop you right there, because this ain't that right there. You know what I'm saying? So I reciprocate energy, and off my the initial time I meet somebody, I'm gonna be genuine. I'm gonna be, you feel me? I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna be good energy and good vibes.
For real.
Because that's just how we interact with people back at the crib.
For real.
You feel me? Because if it's somebody at the crib that I never met, you feel me? I'm gonna dap them up. What's good, bro? You straight? Yeah, I'm straight. Nice to meet you, bro. All right, be smooth, and we gonna keep about it. How we gonna move?
That's one thing my daddy always told me: get to know people for yourself. If you're no wrong for somebody else, say get to know people for yourself. But go ahead.
And I think that's a great spot for us to break at.
Okay.
Because we got some stuff that we're gonna talk about later on, but that's gonna really You feel me? Give people things to think about themselves, about how they are as a person, and how they mold themselves as a person, and how they control their own narrative, bro, and not let other people, you feel me, control their narrative or control, you feel me, their identity.
Facts.
You feel me?
I feel it.
So let's ask the people, like, you feel me? Ask the people like who they are. You know, like, so who are you guys as viewers of our content, our podcast? Like, who are you?
Yep.
You feel me?
Who are you?
As individuals.
What
makes you you?
What makes you you?
You feel me? How does your environment mold and shape you as the person that you are today? And how have you taken what you learned from your environment and evolved?
Right.
That's good.
I like that. Them questions. Think about them questions.
Think about right.
For yourself. For yourself.
Mental note.
Bet. What's up, world? If you're looking for the latest drip, make sure you check out Forever Iconic. Forever Iconic is a lifestyle brand that provides premium apparel to the world. You can catch Forever Iconic on Instagram for their latest releases. Forever Iconic, where you can shine for eternity.
Country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make moves.
Away from the basics, skating on thin ice. And then she really like the picture, she gon' let me hit it twice. Every time come around, it mean the shit looking nice. Introduce you to them bright lights. Yeah, she in love with the
Okay, but which one taste? We went fruity.
If we're going by taste,
If
we're going by taste, I have to go with the peach.
You think so, Libby?
I'm just saying taste wise.
Taste wise is the peach, but if you want that strength,
That apple.
yeah, that apple fruscato,
That's strength.
that barefoot. All right, bro. So as we get into the second half of the show, right?
We stopped off at like being you. You feel me? And knowing who you are. You feel me? Don't let nobody write your narrative. You feel me?
Right.
That's where I was at before we took that break, right? So I know we transitioned. We talked about a little bit about this. Feel me? I know we talked about our experiences at K and really learning how to adapt. And you asked me like, man, how was you able to stay afloat and stay true to yourself? Right. So I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
You know, I know you graduated from Compton College. You played football for what, 16 years?
Yeah, 16 years.
16
That's
years.
old, but first grade through my senior year of college. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
16.
16 years, and you also a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So you feel me? Those are two different things that people can kind of find out who Jared Pittman is, like through that perspective. Right. Now, how are you able to really still stay true to yourself and not let being an athlete and being a part of fraternity really write your narrative?
Right. So obviously, bro, like being a football player, you feel me? Football players have reputations.
Right.
You feel me? Being in a frat, you feel me? Fraternity, dudes in fraternities have reputations.
Facts.
Right. Being a football player and being in a frat, you feel me? That's a category of its own. You feel me?
Double-edged sword.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that I really try to stay true, you feel me, true to, is like having my own identity and not allowing things that I associate myself with identify me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I mean by that is I'm Jared Pittman.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right.
I'm Jared Pittman who played football, who's a football player.
Right.
And Jared Pittman who is the Bruz.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the Bruz, the football player, Jared Pittman. I'm Jared Pittman, the Bruz, the football player. You know what I'm saying? Like those things are a part of my identity, but they don't identify me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's really important, bro, because if you allow people will take the things that you associate with and make them who you are, and they will create their own narrative based off of, you feel me, what you associate with. So it's been times, bro, where like real spill, like for example, I done chopped it up with a female, right? And she go through my socials. I don't hide that I'm the bruh, you feel me, on my socials.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got it in my bio, 1911 in my bio on Twitter.
Right.
1911 on my bio on Instagram.
Right side of 1911.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she see that, right?
Okay.
Oh, you must be a hoe, da 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 da.
Okay.
Oh, you nasty, da 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 da.
Okay.
That's the first thing you come. That's how you come to me off top. Like you just know my name is Pitt. You don't even know my name Jared for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So you really, first of all, you don't know me, and then you coming to me off on the strength of because I got this in my bio on social media, bro. That I'm automatically these things.
You just gonna make that assumption,
right? So like. That's trying to identify me with those things and not allow them to be part of my identity.
Labels.
You know?
Yeah, labels.
Stereotypes, perceptions, reputations.
Right.
All of that stuff is crucial in like how people try to shape their ideally. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to you as a person to carry yourself in such a way where you don't allow those things to identify you, but you allow them to be part of your identity.
Right, that's like we was just saying on labels, man. Like when you go to talk about people, and I forgot what it's called, but it's like, you feel me? If you see it, if it's a child with autism, you don't say that's an autistic child. You identify that's a child who has autism.
Right.
You feel me? You always make sure that at the end of the day, that's a child. You feel me? That's a child who just so happen to has autism.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And we got to work on that as a whole society. You feel me? That goes into now like I'm Jared Pittman. Who plays football. Mm-hmm. I'm Jared Pittman, who's a part of the Linux of Five Time Incorporated. You feel me? And vice versa, the same for me. You feel me? So it's like, you feel me? How was that? And my next question is, like, what is it that you use or that you find helpful when trying to, you feel me, stay afloat and not let those labels really, you feel me, overtake you? Because it can be hard sometimes.
Bro, I stand 10 toes on who I am, bro. Okay. Like, I'm just keep it plain and simple and keep it 100 with you, bro. I don't, you feel me? I don't, first of all, I don't interact with people
right
that have those perceptions of me and don't have any ambition or any motive to really get to know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you coming at me on that tip on, oh, you play football and you in the frat, oh yeah, can't mess with you.
I can't.
That's cool, cause if you coming at me like that, we ain't got no business talking anyway.
For real.
And that's for anybody.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
For real. And that's how people gotta start saying it. Cause I know like, and it's like, you know, I find myself talking to a lot of people who have anxiety. You feel me? Like, you feel me? That's just so happy how it's set up in my life. You feel me? They always like, yeah, they be worried about what people think of them or what people saying. Like, bro, you can't control that. Like you always say, control what you can't control. You can't control what somebody think of you or what they're saying about you. You can't control it.
You can't control it. Let's be specific. You can't control it when they have never had any meaningful interaction.
There you go. Yeah.
Because once they had that interaction with you, the control is 100% in your hands.
Right.
And that kind of brings me to like the point we was talking about in our meeting, bro, is everyone should not have the privilege and it's not worth knowing you, bro.
For real,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? Like,
for real. Everybody intentions ain't good.
I often get told, bro, I got two different personalities. I'm two different people. I'm Jared, right? And I'm Pitt. And for those who know me, they understand the difference. Okay. Right? I ain't saying I'm out here with split personalities on some crazy cuckoo shit, but like I carry myself differently.
Right.
You feel me? And they would say, I guess they would say like the sweeter is Jared, and then like the
raw, authentic.
Yeah, it's Pitt, bro. You feel me? So everybody off rip get to know Pitt. You know what I'm saying? Because that's me. That's everyday me.
That's everyday me.
You know, but if you get to sit down and talk to me and we chop it up and we have meaningful conversation with substance and we talking about something that's real and we not just on the surface level, you feel me? You're gonna get to understand and get to know Jared. And the people who understand and get to know me on that level are who I think are worth knowing me on that level. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, and the goal of what you talking about, like, yeah, like when you get to know me first, you're gonna get to know BJ. Because that's just who I am. You feel me? In fact, I understand what you're talking about. Like, when you get branded, like, it's Like, you feel me? That's the other side. You feel me?
And it even go as far as I don't even let people call me Jared.
For real, bro. Like people people don't understand how like irritated it is to me. Like when you call me Brandon, I feel like, bro, no, that's not my name.
It's either on some like if you calling me Jared off top, it's because you that's just like how you were introduced to me.
Yeah.
Like on some business.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jared, right?
Yeah.
You feel me? Even then when we was in undergrad, you know what I'm saying? I had my professors calling me Pitt. Like they weren't calling me Jared, they was calling me Pitt.
Yeah, they calling me BJ.
You know? So like if you calling me Jared, you either my family and they don't even call me that. You meeting me on some first time shit, right? Or, you know, that's just how we rock it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Off rip, everybody get Pitt. You know what I'm saying? Off rip, everybody gonna know Pitt. Like I guarantee you, bro. It was one time, bro, in undergrad, bro. Somebody had asked me, "Can they get some cereal in my room?" I'm like, "Yeah, my room number." You feel me? 107. Motherfucker get to the door, knock on the door. They text me like, "Is this your room?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Why is somebody named Jared on the door?" I'm like, "Cause that's me." Like, you feel me? Like, you don't even, you know what I'm saying? That's me. Like, you expected my name to be Pittman or something, bro? Like, what's up, bro? You feel me? But like, that just goes to show you, like, you don't even know me well enough to even know my real name.
For real, bro. People always ask me like, why you go by BJ? I'm like, well, first of all, cause it's short. And like, you feel me? It's frustrating having two last names.
Right.
You feel me? But I ain't, that's a whole other topic. But it's like, it's short. BJ Smith. Like, if you know me, you understand what the B and the J stand for. And you just put it together. But going back to what we talked about, I was just about to say, bro, it blows my mind. And still to this day, it blows my mind. When it blows people's mind, when they realize and they sit down and have like an in-depth conversation, deep conversation with me, and they realize like how in-depth I can get.
Facts.
Like I just had that happen like last month, and this like you feel me? This was a lot. We encountered this a lot at Conjure College. You feel me? Like, dang, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how you felt. I didn't know that's what you be thinking.
Man,
like, yeah,
sometimes you just gotta kick it with people.
For real, bro.
Sometimes you really just gotta kick it with people if you really want to understand and know who they are, bro, and get your own perception of that person. Because I think we both were brought up on getting your own perception of people and not letting the perceptions of others dictate how you look at somebody, right?
Yeah.
Now let me know. When saying that, you feel me? If I ask you about somebody, right? I value your opinion and I value what you got to say. Right. So I ask you about somebody, you give me the rundown, you give me the details. Okay, I'm gonna take that for food for thought. I'm gonna take that into consideration when I interact with that person. But that's not necessarily, you feel me, how I'm gonna treat that person.
Right.
So everybody don't get the same experience with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And kind of like when I was saying how keeping it, some people don't deserve to get to know the full you or get to know who you are for real. They only get to have that surface level knowledge of you.
Right.
You got to understand your toleration and accessibility.
Right.
Right. How accessible are you to people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
something I had to learn, bro, was I was too accessible to people.
Okay.
When I was younger, you feel me? I used to. Everybody can have a deep conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be vulnerable with everybody. I'm gonna let everybody know, you know, because I was trying so hard to get people to know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, know me. But as I got older, some people didn't deserve that. Some people shouldn't have that privilege of having that in-depth conversation and knowing me. And I had to stop allowing people access to me that had no business having access to me.
Right. I had a question for you. So the question is I got for you is like how did you learn or when did you learn like how accessible you can be to people? You get what I'm saying? Like
I guess I have to answer that question based on like, you feel me, just genuineness, right? Or personal interaction. Like with you, when we met, bro, when we hit it off, bro. It's not a time where you could call me, bro, and you need something. I'm not gonna do my best to figure out how to get things done.
Facts.
You feel me?
Vice versa.
I'm accessible to you. You can hit my line, bro, and I'm going. All right, you're a priority in my life, right? Because you my man. You one of my best friends, so you're a priority. You know, but it's some people, bro, who just want to use you.
Facts.
And them the people that can't get access to me. Them the people where I look at my phone
You just like.
and I set that mug down, like I get to them when I get to them. I got plenty of people like that in my life. If people wonder why, cause look, actually I'm a very punctual person. Like y'all know I'm big on time.
I like that from you.
You know, y'all know I'm big on time. So if you say we gonna do something at 7:30, I'm gonna be there at 7:30, and it better be getting done at 7:30 or shortly after. You know, so I'm on my phone. You feel me? You text me. It's some people that's gonna get a minute-to-minute conversation with me, but it's some people that's gonna get hours in between because they shouldn't have that access to me, and I'm not gonna allow them to have that access to me.
Yeah, facts.
You know, so it's all about like knowing people. You and that all go back to our environment of us being observant.
Right.
You feel me? I know when somebody trying to use me. I know when people hitting me up just to get something. You know what I'm saying? I know those things. I've experienced enough. We've experienced enough to know those red flags and identify those.
Okay, that transitioned to my next part. It was a question, but now it's like a story and a conversation I had. It was like either last week or early this week. I had one of my coworkers.
Right.
You feel me? And you feel me? She's a Caucasian woman, right? So we should not talking. You feel me? She was talking to my dog. She was talking to my dog, and she was just like, it was a situation where she was real cool with this individual. You feel me? Real cool, you know. And then it came a time where their relationship together interfered with the individual and her significant other, right? Interfered with that. So my coworker like it ain't that, you know, like the other person hurt, you know, significant other, and then it's like she was like, you know, that one of my intentions, we was just cool kicking it, you know, I don't know how that could be, you know, seen through all this, you know, and I'm like, well, you gotta understand, like, you know, and she had stated, she was like, well, she always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and she always think that people have good intentions. So I'm like, first of all, it's when you incorrect.
Because everybody's intentions not pure.
Everybody's intentions are not pure. You feel me? Like that's where you incorrect. Now, second of all, when me and my dog was breaking it down to her, she was like, how do y'all know that? Like, how do y'all get it? It's like, well, you gotta understand, like,
life experience.
That's life experiences. Like you feel me? Your childhood, your growing up was different from ours. You feel me? So like I had to be real observant of people. You feel me? Pay attention and stuff. Feel me? You can't be, and my mama taught me that. She tell me that to this day. You feel me? You gotta be real observant. You gotta watch people. You feel me? So I was like, yeah. I said, I'm gonna give you an example of like how it happened. You feel me? That person, that significant other, you feel me? Been together for a year or two. You feel me? And all of a sudden, you feel me? In the conversation they having, your name popping up. Okay, it's been a year or two, and this person's name ain't never popped up. Right. So now the significant other sees you as a threat. Because now, where did this person come up from? I've never heard of this person until now. Right. You feel me? So I had to break it down to her, and she's like, dang. I'm like, yeah, bro, like, you just gotta be watchful. You gotta pay attention. And it's like I said, it's hard for people because they've never had to do that.
Facts.
Never had to do that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's go back to everybody doesn't get the same experience with you.
Okay.
Right. So it's very frequent, you know, that we get the Carfax.
Okay, man.
More specifically, we talking about women.
Right.
Right. If it's a shorty that like I'm interested in, and I know that you know the shorty, right? And you may have had an interaction with the shorty, I'm gonna ask you like, all right, bro, what's the details? Like, what's the deal with shorty, right? And you gonna tell me, you gonna give me your experience, right? Whether it was good or bad. But it's up to me to see if your experiences hold weight, to see if I would get the same experience, if that's something I want to pursue, right? So let's talk about vice versa. You feel me? So there's shorties that we kicked it with, or people that we've interacted with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there may have been things that have led to a certain experience that we had with that person, right? Certain like situations and circumstances that may have led to like a bad experience, not even a bad experience, but like just something that like it wasn't tasteful. We keep it like that. It wasn't a tasteful experience.
Accessibility changed now after that.
Right. So it's another shorty, you know, that's friend with the old girl that you just like, you know, interacting with.
Right.
You feel me? And of course she gonna ask, what's the Carfax on BJ? What's the Carfax on Pitt? Right?
Right.
And of course, that previous shorty is gonna give her the experience that she had with you based off the circumstances, the situation that y'all had.
Right.
Right? But that don't mean that if the new shorty was to pursue you or y'all was to interact, she would get that same experience. So we really gotta be mindful, you feel me, of the experiences that people have with other people. And it's really important for us, if that's something that we really wanna seek, you feel me, we gotta go seek our own perception, our own experience with certain people. You know what I'm saying?
When this episode come out, I'm putting my phone on do not disturb.
You ain't even gotta do that, bro. I'm speaking facts though. Am I not speaking facts?
You right.
You know how many times you feel me? You're like, bro, what's up with this and that?
Right.
You told me to run down.
I mean,
it was bad.
that's
I don't even. All right, bro. I ain't even going.
That's just,
you know.
That's just how society works, bro.
But that's about anything though. That's about businesses.
You right.
You feel me? That's about businesses. That's
right.
You know, because you gotta be mindful of people you do business with.
Right.
Right.
It's just like an interview. Like, you feel me? My first interview here, they called down. Never attended Muskegon High School. Never. They called down to Muskegon High School asking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. And it's just like, dang. Like, and they just gonna show you, like you said, business, whether it's business, social life, anything. People gonna always try to figure out who you are, you know, before they get there.
And that brings me to another point. Some people get too caught up in how they see people on social media, and they automatically get that perception based off of them. So like on social media, bro, like you feel like if I'm on Twitter, if you probably look at my Twitter, bro, you'll probably be confused. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Like you'll probably be confused. You look at my Twitter, like, bro, what's wrong with Pitt today? Or ain't nothing wrong with Pitt. This nigga just, you feel me? He just on here tripping. I don't even be on shit for real on Twitter.
I was speaking of Twitter, bro. I used to be off Richter scale when I got to college, bro.
No, I'm knowing, bro, because we had the same conversation, bro. Coach in my life, bro. Coach told me I wasn't gonna play, bro. I was gonna be suspended if I ain't calm down on Twitter, bro.
This is how raw was, Coach, bro. Like, you feel me? I'm thinking I'm smart, like, bro. Coach ain't gonna never find my you feel me?
I'm talking, I'm soft blocking dog and everything.
I'm like, I'm private. You ain't gotta worry about none of that. Like, you feel me? We got the, you know, twin some lyrics. You feel me? That's just how I was. Just, you feel me? You know, they might have had a couple words, you know,
right,
or two. Feel me? But you get that text, coach like, come on, just wanna see me now. He's like, yeah, what?
Right, and it's about your social media. But you feel me? But the way you carry yourself and the way you present yourself on social media has, you feel me, a lot to do with the perception that people get of you. Right?
And it does now in today's society, bro, because like that, your social media, I mean, it's so heavy in society and in life that now jobs and businesses are looking at your social media.
They have people that are hired on staff that are being paid to stalk your social media. But okay, let me ask you this. You feel me? You meet somebody.
Right.
Male or female, you feel me? Business, you know, like say you want to, cause I want to get my windows tinted, right?
Right.
So I'm off top, go to whatever company what business I'm trying to get my windows tinted at, bro. And I'm gonna go to their social media pages, right? I'm gonna see what type of work they got. I'm gonna see how organized they are on their pages. I'm gonna see how they carrying themselves on their pages, right?
Right.
Because that's my first impression, right? So say you feel me, it's a shorty I'm interested in,
right?
First thing I'm gonna do is what? I'm going to the gram. I'm going to see what she talking about on Twitter.
Hey, for real.
I'm trying to see what she posting on the Snap.
For real.
How you carrying yourself? You feel me? That's the first impression. I'm not going. You feel me?
I like you said the impressions. I like that.
That's the first impression.
Yeah.
Social media is the first impression.
Right.
You know.
For real.
And some people kind of take them first. They don't take it for like. They take it as a first impression and then they run with it.
Right.
They don't in the back of their head, they don't be like, oh, this is social media. Maybe they just trolling. Because at one point in time, I was a troll on Twitter, bro. I was trolling like a mug. You feel me? Like, bro, he really believe this? No, I don't. I'm only trolling, bro.
I got to the point where I didn't even like look at social media for impressions no more. Like, I went to social media to find out who your friends were. You see what I'm saying? Like if I'm talking like this specifically to women, like if I'm talking to a woman, I'm going to see like, okay, let me go to Instagram. Okay, let me see who our friends are first. You feel me? Because it's like you just try to avoid some situations. You dig what I'm saying? And so it's like, yeah, let me go see, who you associated with. And that's there you can also tell too, like by who a person associates themselves with, who they are. You feel me?
So, and that brings me to this point right here. I just thought of it. As we are who we are and how we are always constantly observing, we gotta remember that we're always constantly being observed. You always being observed. It's always somebody watching your stuff. Whether they're interested or not, it's somebody that's just gonna be,
whether it's for the good or for the bad.
You constantly, as we always observe, we're always being observed.
For real.
Because it's somebody, as I'm sitting in a room of people that I don't necessarily know all that well, as I'm observing, it's somebody watching me observe.
For real. Cause
it's somebody trying to figure out what I got going on.
I tell people I'm very observant because I always try to have the upper hand on you. Like if I can be observant and know a little more about you than you know about me, I have the upper hand on you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like that's just me being me being comfortable. I can't let somebody have the upper hand on me when it comes, cause it's like, like when like off dribble. If I don't know somebody and they're like, yeah, if they call me busy off dribble, this where you from, this who you hang with. Like I'm like, okay, time out. Who are you? Like where you from? Like, you feel me? But that's just me. Like I'm observant. I tell people I have to have the upper hand on me.
Right.
That's just me.
So let's wrap this into like being black, right? Black people constantly have stereotypes. You feel me? Or there's always this perception of black people, right? Whether we're in a large crowd, small crowd, at a predominantly white institution, at an all-black college, whatever. There's a stereotype that black people carry. And as black people and as black men, we constantly doing our best and doing the most to try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to, you feel me?
Be honest.
Prove those stereotypes wrong.
Oh, incorrect. Okay.
Right. Because, because they're, okay, for example, like, back in high school, me and my homeboy used to go out to eat all the time. In big groups. Like, it was like 8, 9, 10 of us. Of course, when we walk in that mud, the shorty, the waiter or waitress that get our table is automatically gonna be pissed. They coming to the table off rip with an attitude. Why? Because she think that we gonna cut out on the bill. We gonna give her ass a hard time.
Yeah, we just gonna be rambunctious.
But little did she know.
And obnoxious.
Little did they know. You feel me? We gonna be the best customers that you gonna have today.
Yeah. I like that though.
We gonna treat you right. We ain't gonna give you no hard time. We gonna make life easy for you, and we gonna tip you. That's just for that example.
That's one thing. When I got to K, bro, that's one thing I liked when people did. I don't know why. It was just weird to me. I just like when people made that assumption, like, oh, he this and that because he's from here, like he's from there, or he does this. I always wanted you to make that assumption, like, yes, because then when we sit down one-on-one, like I said, I want to blow your mind with, like, and you totally different than what I was thinking. You feel me? That's just how it is cited. Like, I want them to think that. I want them to think that.
So 2 things before we get up out of here, right? 1, how has your environment molded you, and how have you evolved from your environment?
Oh man, I gotta look at my phone for this one. That was my environment molded me by my approach on life. And what I mean by that is just the way, everything we talked about today. It's everything, like from interacting with people to the way I take on life itself. Cause like I tell you, just coming from my experiences, I've always had to get on my 2 feet and go get it. Like slow feet on knee. And that's why people look at me like, dang, why you work so hard? Like if you knew what I've been through, what I experienced, you'll really understand. You feel me? This is why I go so hard. So really my approach on life it's really, it's time to get up, go out and go get it. Cause ain't nobody gonna get it for you. Ain't no handouts. I don't care what, ain't no free handouts, bro. Ain't no
And if it is, I
handouts.
don't want it for real.
I don't want it for real. Like, ain't no
Because I know it's
handouts.
gonna come with something.
Right.
But how have you evolved? So like,
So how have you evolved?
so like we just let's just take it here, bro. Because it was an article that just came out. I seen on Facebook that said like Muskegon Heights. You feel me? Is in like the top 20%, top 10%. I may not be accurate with the numbers, but they're at a high percentage of one of the like worst cities to live in the United States, right? And then like, I think I seen like 18% of residents of Muskegon Heights, you feel me, have 18% has a bachelor degree, right? So easily, bro, you could have been part of that 18%. You feel me? And that's just like that's not a knock on anybody that live in the Heights or that live in Muskegon. You know what I'm saying? Those are just the numbers. Those are the stats, right? And it is based off. We can take it all the way back, bro. It's based off of systemic racism and all types of stuff, right? It's all types of circumstances and situations that contributes to that to those numbers, right? But that is where you are from,
Right.
You feel me?
I love
The unsafe environment. I think the worst city, most unsafe city to live in the state.
the top.
One of the top, right? That's where you are from, bro.
Yeah.
That's where you were born and raised.
Yeah.
That's where your mama changed your diapers and spanked your butt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that being a part of you, cause you can't hide it. You feel me? It's a part of you, bro. Like you BJ from the south side of Muskegon, bro.
That's what I tell everybody, bro. Like,
but my question is, how have you like allowed that to be in you? But how have you like evolved from that environment into who you are? How has that helped ground you and helped root you into the person that you are today?
I'm gonna try to make this real short and simple. Like if you see my Instagram name and my Twitter name, like it's never changed up.
Right.
Like that's something I really said I thought about when I first made it. I ain't never changed my Instagram name or my Twitter name. That's something I first thought about when I made my pages. And like that's real true, because it's like coming from where I come from, like just be like I said, be who you are, no matter who you're around or where you at.
Right.
Like you feel me, never change up. You feel me? But then at the same time, it was like you're going to get me. Like you're gonna get DJ from where I'm from. And I can't help it. That's what you're going to get. You feel me? But at the same time, like you say evolve. I say evolve, I had to adapt. Like it was same things I had to take on to really make it through life, bro. Like I always say, it's chess, not checkers. Life is a game, and it's chess, not checkers. So you gotta be strategic and you gotta strategize on, when you're trying to get to where you're trying to get to, make it in life.
Right.
So that's what I mean, like different environments, you gotta adapt, bro. You gotta adapt in order to make it. It's just like if you take an animal out of their natural environment, their habitat, and put them somewhere else, if they can't adapt, they gonna die. And I refuse to die. I refuse to die because of where I'm from, you feel me? Failure and quitting was not an option.
No, I really
You feel me? I refuse to be one of them just sitting back at the crib like, you feel me? Like, dang, he had a lot of potential, but he ain't nothing.
Yeah, one thing that we had prided ourselves on was like going off to school and not being the people that end up back in the city after like the first semester or something.
Yeah, you feel me? Even that thing, like, we understand things happen, but I wouldn't
Right,
say
but
it was just
some
like,
things happen, but some people just
like
be lazy.
Yeah, some people do be lazy. Some people do be lazy. It's just like they don't want to be, and that's that whole thing like we talked about last week. They weren't comfortable with being uncomfortable because it's a different environment.
Right.
You feel me? So they couldn't understand how to adapt. That's what I mean. You gotta understand how to adapt to make it. You feel me? But it was like for us, just being able to say where we come from and doing what we did or are doing, that was a big accomplishment.
Right.
You feel me? Everybody, it's like, dang, like, like you said earlier this week, you mentioned it. You said not being the expected result of your environment. Because we talked about we are a product of our environment. And you said not being that expected result of your environment, meaning just because you come from the inner city, don't mean you have to be that stereotype.
You ain't gotta meet the expectations that people put on you.
Right,
You feel me?
right. So it was just like,
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your own personal expectations of
right.
yourself. You know, and some people expectations be good. You know what I'm saying? And if they good, then go right ahead and try to meet and exceed those expectations. But some people will have the bare minimum thought of you.
For real.
And it's our job as who we are as individuals and being true to ourselves. To, you feel me? We ain't gotta. If the expectation is I'm coming into this room loud and obnoxious, I'm not gonna come into the room loud and obnoxious because that is the expectation. So what's your closing remarks?
My closing remarks, man, is this for our audience too.
Right.
Like, just be who you are. Like, I tell people all the time, man, if it's not your close circle, you feel me? Care less what other people got to say about you.
Right.
You feel me? Blase, just be you. As long as you happy, you love what you're doing, you comfortable with yourself, you comfortable with the inside, be comfortable with who you are. That self-love. And that goes a long way. Like, just be you. And you feel me? Those people that's gonna mess with you, that's gonna vibe with you, they gonna come around.
Facts.
They gonna come around. Feel me? Just be who you are. Like, every day. Just be who you are. And those people gonna be thankful that they met you as that individual. You feel me? And that's really it.
So that's what you leaving the people with.
What about you? Yep.
I guess I'll leave the people with this, bro. It's gonna be somebody, and everybody's gonna have an expectation of you.
Right.
Everybody's gonna have a perception of you. You feel me? Everybody's gonna try to identify you with things
everybody's not gonna like who you are.
Right. That should just be a part of your identity.
Right.
Right. And like BJ was saying, if it ain't your close group, your inner circle, and the people that you value, love, and care for,
right,
then the opinions of others don't really matter.
For real.
You know who you are.
For real.
You understand where you come from and how you evolved and adapted to the new environments from the old.
For real.
And you just gotta stay true and stand on your one.
For real. Stand on your one.
You got to. You gotta stand on who you are as a person. And as people, we constantly evolving, right?
For real.
Come get a new experience with me because I am not the same person I was at the old.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because there have been times where people have tried to hold things in the past against me, but that's not even on my character anymore.
I hate that.
You feel me? Like, why is you steady bringing up things that happened such and such months ago or such and such years ago?
Oh, I'm trying to work on it.
You know what I'm saying? And I've evolved from that. Like, on some, like, toxic jump.
Yeah.
Like, people can be toxic towards you.
I'm just trying to get great.
You know, that's it.
Just let me, like my sister always said, just let me be great.
Right.
I'm just trying to be great for now.
You feel me?
Like,
but that's what I got. That's how I ended, bro. You feel me? Stand on yours, man. And know who you are. And never change up.
Never change up. For real. What's something we going out on?
Ooh, what you want to hear, brother?
You started off with the biggie, so I mean, you gotta keep that same vibe.
Come on.
Keep that same vibe. Look at it.
Hey.
That's another episode, man. Y'all stay tuned. We gonna be back.
Yes, sir.
It's up there, stuck there. For real.
And this good philosophy.
Come on now. Yes, sir.
We can cruise the world with pearls, gator boots for girls. The envy of all women, crushed linen, Cartier wristwear with diamonds in them. The finest women I love with the passion.